Socialization, misperceptions, and the importance of community. Veterans represent a significant portion of the population, about 6.8%, yet most often go unnoticed by civilians. Many veterans choose to not self-identify for a variety of reasons. Some may have served a short time and consider only a long-term career as qualifying for veteran status. Others may have had negative or traumatic experiences they don't wish to share, while still others may have worked in non-combat positions and don't consider themselves a, quote, veteran of war. The lack of civilian understanding regarding veterans tends to influence and lead to misconceptions of military veterans in the media, with common stigmas associated with veterans suffering from mental health or substance abuse issues, emphasized by the tale of the, quote, broken veteran. Movies frequently depict, quote, war heroes who participated in active combat and seek recognition for their service or sacrifice. Or we see the story of the, quote, enlisted veteran who entered the military for lack of other opportunities. While these narratives represent some segments of the population, the breadth of veteran experiences is tremendous and not nearly as narrowly defined. These misperceptions illustrate the, quote, military-civilian divide, the gap in understanding between the military experience and the civilian world. According to the Pew Research Center, 71% of civilians said they have little to no understanding of the military experience, despite a strong appreciation for the military. As the military continues to shrink and fewer individuals serve, the connections between military personnel and the broader civilian population also appear to be shrinking. Even people directly related to a veteran or service member may not fully understand the depth and nuance of the military experience, which is very distinct from the civilian experience. From day one at boot camp, service members abandon their civilian habits for a highly structured, routine, and hierarchical environment. Combat zone experiences are often beyond comprehension for the average civilian. These experiences are deeply rooted in veterans and often influence their civilian life. Research indicates that veterans may benefit from support in 4 core areas as they reintegrate into civilian society. These include 1, forming community connections. For many veterans, the military provided a strong sense of community and camaraderie that they continue to seek out in the civilian world. But the highly mobile nature of the military, like moving frequently to new posts, deployments, and separation from civilian communities, can make it hard to maintain relationships and connections. When it's time for veterans to put down roots permanently, many feel disconnected from social networks and communities. Opportunities for military and civilian engagement intended to create new relationships and expand social circles are limited. Number 2, transitioning successfully. The period immediately after service members are discharged is particularly critical as new veterans begin building the foundation for their civilian life. Many seek initial employment or education and training that may sustain long-term employment. Yet, veterans often find that skills they developed while in service are not readily transferable to civilian positions, and that cultural reintegration into civilian workplace requires time and constant attention. In addition, the initial transition period often requires navigating a complex system to receive earned benefits and services. So think your GI Bill, healthcare, or service-connected benefits. If a veteran does not live near a military support system, he or she may have difficulty accessing and using these services. Number 3, ensuring economic security. 41% of veterans describe their financial transition as difficult or very difficult. The highly mobile military lifestyle affects long-term economic stability for veterans and their families, as the unexpected and often high costs associated with moves can challenge financial planning and stability. Service members transitioning out of active duty may receive varying levels of financial literacy training or explanation of benefits that would help them as they move into their next phase of life. Maintaining health and wellness is number 4. So, Preserving and improving physical, mental, and emotional well-being is particularly important. Many veterans have complex health needs, from invisible wounds that affect mental health to physical wounds, such as loss of limbs. Yet, confusing and fragmented healthcare delivery systems present challenges for veterans seeking to access the healthcare they need. A little bit about socializing. Socializing can provide many benefits to your physical and mental health. According to recent research, socialization can help with connecting with friends, may also boost your brain health and lower your risk of dementia. People who regularly connect with others generally perform better on tests of memory and other cognitive skills. In the long run, people with active social lives are less likely to develop dementia than those who are more socially isolated. People with more social support also tend to live longer, and this is true even after accounting for overall health. Social engagement is associated with a stronger immune system, especially for older adults. This means you're better able to fight off colds, flu, and even some types of cancer. And interacting with others boosts feelings of well-being and decreases feelings of depression. So putting some of that together, what's important is to remember the Wario ethos per your respective branch. Leave no man behind. This pertains to your battle buddies who might seem to be less interested in experiences outside of their immediate environment. Maybe they're fearful of asking for help or don't know how to ask or start the process of seeking help. As fellow brothers and sisters in arms, we have a duty, even once we enter the civilian world, to leave no man behind. The importance of building relationships and establishing new connections is integral to finding meaning once you've completed your transition from active or reserve duty to the civilian world. Maybe you don't have trust or faith in the institutions, which is no fault of your own. You might have been asked to put aside your thoughts, feelings, and/or values, and maybe that has led you to be skeptical of the services offered from the Department of Defense or the VA healthcare system. But there are still options. Being a part of a community of like-minded individuals who have been in similar situations as you might make relating to others easier. Maybe this eases anxiety from having to go to a clinic or to see someone outside of the comfort of your own home. Fortunately, there are other options, whether it is gaming communities dedicated to mental health care and relational building with service members. Maybe you're interested in pursuing a group therapy setting at your local VA, but have been hesitant to go because you didn't have anyone to go with. All of these thoughts and feelings are valid and important. The most important piece of this is that maybe things aren't going great, and maybe you feel like you could find an outlet or community support from other service members who feel similarly to how you do right now. Whether you choose to look into individual or group counseling on base at your local VA, or through telehealth options, or maybe you're interested in online clinical services through Military OneSource, or maybe all you need is a new community. I would then recommend you look into some of the wonderful organizations that are dedicated to you and your overall well-being. Organizations like Stack Up, Guardians Mental Health, Regiment, Wounded Warrior Project, or Frost Call. These are resources and organizations that want to help. Clinical services are important, but maybe you need to work your way up. There are folks out there who are willing to be your support system when maybe it feels like you don't have any support left. The importance of recognizing the need for new community or the need to seek out services is a big step, so go you. By looking into some of these services or finding a battle buddy to help you in your time of need, we're here for you. You've served your country honorably, no matter the role you played in the name of the mission. So, some final social support tips. A strong social support network can be critical to help you through the stress of tough times. Whether you've had a bad day at work or a year filled with loss or chronic illness, and the lack of social support can lead to isolation and loneliness. It happens. Since supportive family, friends, and coworkers are such an important part of your life, it's never too soon to cultivate these relationships. But first, what is a social support network? A social support network is made up of friends, family, and peers. Social support is different from a support group, which is generally a structured meeting run by a lay leader or mental health professional. Although both support groups and support networks can play an important role in times of stress, a social support network is something you can develop when you're not under stress. It provides the comfort of knowing that your friends are there for you if you need them. You don't need to formalize your support network. A coffee break with a friend at work, a quick chat with a neighbor, phone call to your sibling, a visit to a house of worship or volunteer work. These are all ways to develop and foster lasting relationships with others. Risk of isolation and benefits of social support. Studies have demonstrated that social isolation and loneliness are associated with a greater risk of poor mental health and poor cardiovascular health, as well as other health problems. Other studies have shown the benefit of a network of social support, including the following: improving the ability to cope with stressful situations, alleviating the effects of emotional distress, promoting lifelong good mental health, enhancing self-esteem, lowering cardiovascular risks, such as lowering blood pressure, and promoting healthy lifestyle behaviors, and encouraging adherence to a treatment plan. So, ways to cultivate your social support network. If you want to improve your mental health and your ability to combat stress, surround yourself with at least a few good friends and confidants. Here are some ideas for building your support network. Volunteer. Pick a cause that's important to you and get involved. You're sure to meet others who share similar interests and values. Join a gym or fitness group. Incorporating physical fitness into your day is an important part of a healthy lifestyle. You can make friends while you exercise. Look at gyms in your area or check a local community center. And for disabled vets, there are plenty of groups or courses at your local VA or other healthcare system that are specifically catered and tailored to help you with physical activity between the parts of your body that are able. Take a class. A local college or community education course puts you in contact with others who share similar hobbies or pursuits. Look online. Social networking sites can help you stay connected with friends and family. Many good sites exist for people going through stressful times, such as gaming groups focused on all service members are a fantastic resource filled with active community members who can provide guidance, suggestions, tips, or just a game. Check out Stack Up, Guardians Mental Health, Frost Chill, and the Wounded Warrior Project. Sorry, Frost Call, or the Wounded Warrior Project. Give and take. Foundations of social networks. A successful relationship is a two-way street that requires your active participation. Here are some suggestions for nurturing your relationships. Stay in touch. Answering phone calls, returning emails, and reciprocating invitations let people know you care. Don't compete. Be happy instead of jealous when your friends succeed. Be a good listener. Listen when your friends are speaking. Find out what's important to them. Don't overdo it. Be careful not to overwhelm friends and family with phone calls and emails. Save those high demand times for when you really need them. Appreciate your friends and family. Take time to say thank you and express how important they are to you. Give back. Be available for family and friends when they need support. Thanks.